This video is going to have a look at group 2 metals. In particular, it's going to look at the reactions and the uses of those metals. Now, when you're looking at group 2 metals, what's really important to understand is how group 1 metals work, because group 2 metals sort of work in a very similar way, just less reactive. And there's a very good reason for this. So when we have a look at the periodic table, here's group 1. Group 1 all have one outer electron. Group 2 are here and they all have two outer electrons. Now, because of this, if they are in the same period, so for example, lithium and beryllium, beryllium will be less reactive than its equivalent in lithium. The reason being is that they have got, if we draw both of them, so lithium has got two shells, sorry, beryllium has got two shells, so they've both got the same amount of electron shielding. They've both got two electrons between them, the outer electrons and the nucleus. They also need to get rid of two electrons as opposed to only get rid of one. They have a stronger nuclear charge, so the outer electrons are pulled closer to the nucleus, and therefore it requires much more energy to make the equivalent group 2 metal react compared to its group 1 metal to its left. Now, if we have a look at their reactions, there are three reactions you need to be aware of. The first one is oxygen, second with water, third with acids. I'm just going to go through what the products would be in this case so that you can see what's going on here. So with oxygen, I'm just going to use calcium. Oxygen will react to form calcium oxide. Now, oxygen is O2, calcium is Ca. So when you balance it, it will be 2Ca plus O2 gives you 2CaO. The reason it's CaO is because calcium has a 2 plus charge when it's an ion, oxygen has a 2 minus charge, so it's balanced. Right. With water, you'll get calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Now, the reason you're going to get that is because this is the reaction that you get with all metals and water. However, it's going to be faster than most metals, but slower than group 1. Now, the charge on the calcium is still 2 plus, charge on the OH is -1. Therefore, I need two hydroxide ions to balance out the 2 plus charge of the calcium. The other product is therefore hydrogen, so the same safety precautions as with group 1 metals are needed. In acids, you are going to get calcium, and then your base. So the most common one they give you is calcium chloride. And the reason they give you calcium chloride is most people tend to forget that you'll get A2, so it'll be CaCl2. The reason being, again, this is going to be 2 plus, and the chlorine is going to be a -1. So I need two -1s in order to balance out the 2 plus. The other product I'm going to get is H2. Okay, and this will neutralize the acid. If we have a look at some of the uses of this, as a result, and these are quite common in anything that requires neutralization. You don't use alkali metals to do neutralization because they are so reactive. So you don't want to sort of, put a little bit of potassium on a field and just blow the field up because it's been raining that night. Instead, you would just put a little bit of calcium oxide you'd spray the calcium oxide over the field. That will neutralize the soil and any acid in the soil and help the crops grow. Same with stomach acid. Stomach acid, you'll have heard of milk of magnesia. This is sort of the old remedy for indigestion. The milk of magnesia uses magnesium in it, so it's magnesium hydroxide. The magnesium hydroxide will go into the stomach acid. It will neutralize some of the stomach acid. It will reduce indigestion. Building materials, a lot of things so when you quarry, you get limestone out of the rocks. Limestone is mostly calcium carbonate. You can then turn that into all sorts of things. So if you're making render, one of the key ingredients in render is lime. You can also use it for things like limelight. So the term limelight comes from the use of lime to make the glowing effect that you used to get on stage at the theatre. So those are just some of the uses. You just need to know the uses.